So I guess straight off the back, Henley is a very unique race. You're very close to everyone, so it's always quite nerve-wracking, especially these first few. At this point, it's just making sure that, as personally, just getting the length straight away, and making sure that the big boys behind me can get working, because that's where they're going to get the boat up to speed. It's kind of like a weird boat in the sense that you kind of want to feel like a train leaving the station almost. It's like build, and
was a good start.
It was, yeah, it was a very good start. Very good actually. And at this point, so we're probably 30 seconds in, something like that. At this point, it's just making sure on length, still quite high on the rate, but being high and fluid, and making sure that it's not just being high on the rate and short. It's quite a nice sort of position to be in, because it was like, felt good, and I could just sort of feel ourselves inching, which is really good. Especially like in a, you just kind of always want to be moving. So it's around here, like we're probably sort of coming towards our sort of fine pace. So for me, that's just making sure that I'm seeing the right sort of numbers, but it's also feel. Just try and be nice and sort of loose and dynamic. And when we like find our pace, we want to try and keep moving and not just stall. I think it's quite easy to sort of try and come into your rhythm and then just end up sitting and stalling. It's making sure that you come onto something that's sustainable, but also going to keep your boat speed high. And I guess sort of, yeah, at this point it's just we're sort of now in the middle of the race, and we've opened up a bit of a margin. So it's now just making sure that we sort of break the connection with the bow ball.
Did you have a preferred station?
No, I actually not that. No. To be honest, people say them and I don't actually know which is it. I always get confused. So yeah, like obviously it was sort of panned away there, but like in that section there, it's all about, especially in like a match race, it's a very different race to 6 lanes. It's all about just sort of trying to break free.
Is there a point where you felt like you sort of were safe, that you didn't think they were going to sort of come back?
I guess though, sort of with the strokes that you always feel like you're closer than you are.
Yeah.
I guess at this point I was like, we're going well. Like the feeling of the boat was really good. Like it's Henley's quite washy, and it's quite easy to sort of have a very rough race, even though you could be winning. It just doesn't feel right. But the thing I felt like we did really well is it felt like a very clean race. And at this point, I was like, I know we've been all the way down the track so far, executed every part of our race plan almost to the letter. Which is like when that's happened and it comes off, it's it's very like motivating probably. There's also now at this point, you're like obviously putting a lot of work, you're hurting a lot, legs are burning, but you're sort of reaping the rewards for it. Yeah, still similar thing, trying to stick to our process, which is always trying to be like fluid around the back end. And going into the last stages, it's adding a little bit more rate, but especially in a lot of time you're adding rate just to hold speed, not necessarily, obviously you want to change in speed, but in it's kind of a sprint. You're not gonna be seeing like big drops like you would in a pair necessarily. And to be honest, at this point, it's like, especially at Henley, you're just like, don't muck it up.
Is it quite a different feel this eight compared to the Olympic 8?
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a lot of new guys, like fresh enthusiasm, which is always nice. think feels like we're all just buying into the technical focuses that Steve's getting us to work on, which is really good. Don't get me wrong, obviously the Olympic 8 was good. Just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like we've got a lot of clarity in this boat at the moment, which is good. Sort of feels like we know what makes this go well.
Is it always louder in the grandstands compared to World Cup, World Champs?
Yeah, like Henley's very unique in that sense that you're very close to the crowds the whole way down, and it can be, yeah, it's pretty cool to be honest.
I guess in this scenario as well, you're obviously in front of a home crowd, so
Exactly,
you've got all of that bank is probably mostly cheering on.
For us, yeah, exactly,
rather than
yeah.
the Australians.
Henley, I'll probably actually weirdly get for Henley's probably the most nervous I'll get for any race. I think that's just because you know that like everyone is like friends, family, or there's people you know throughout your own career there, and I don't know why, but yeah, Henley's just the one I always get most nervous for. Yeah, I think like the overwhelming emotion there is just like the Grand's a pretty cool event to win. It's one that you sort of dream of winning, and yeah, just did it. So
Yeah,
yeah.